Earlier in this module, we learnt about the process of communication. While the process appears to be simple enough in theory, in practice, it is found that it need not be so. Many times, what we say, write, or otherwise communicate results in behaviors and outcomes that are unexpected. It is possible that our message is misinterpreted, sometimes with negative results. The process in electronic data communication is the same. However, in this case, the coding and decoding protocols and conventions are clearly defined and known to both sender as well as receiver, resulting in very effective and reliable exchange of information. Sadly, however, human beings are not machines, and every one of us is different, and therefore there are going to be errors and issues when we communicate. The reasons why human communication becomes complex and sometimes incorrect are: A. The encoding process was incorrect. If the sender did not compose the message correctly with respect to the receiver, or did not provide enough information to allow her to decode the message, then we have issues. B. The decoding process could have been incorrect, in that the receiver did not or could not decode the message using the same bases as the sender used. Or C. There were other factors such as the use of language, technology, or medium that caused distortion or alteration to the message. There are two sets of causative factors that come in the way of effective exchange of information. One set of such factors is referred to as noise, and the other barriers to communication. Noise refers to the physical elements that interfere with the process of transmitting and receiving messages. Some examples of noise are: A. Physical noise, referring to external sounds in the environment in which the transaction is happening. Crowded cafes, public places, social gatherings, and such like generate a multitude of sounds that could interfere with the process by being distracting as well as confusing. B. Physiological factors such as deafness, lack of or low vision, or other disabilities on the part of the receiver that causes loss of information. Barriers, on the other hand, are those factors which give rise to distortion and misrepresentation of the message by the receiver. Some of the common barriers are: A. Psychological and attitudinal issues. Selective and incomplete listening occurs based on the emotional states and relationship between the participants in the transaction. For example, I may say, "What can I learn from subordinates and less experienced people?" Another possibility is any predisposition the receiver might have, such as bias, prejudice, or even prior experience in dealing with the sender. For example, "The last time this client lied to me, and therefore will do so this time again." These and other factors act as filters that change the way information is decoded. Further, B. Lack of interest or motivation. For the receiver to be motivated and open to receiving the message in its totality, it is necessary for the sender to overcome any initial resistance that the receiver may offer. Upon receipt of the message, the receiver will evaluate its contents. The basic question asked by her at this juncture will be, "What's in it for me? Why do I need to listen to this person?" Only if there's some value perceived by the recipient will she open up to and become completely receptive to the sender. C. Language-related barriers result due to differences in structure, grammar, and use of vocabulary between the sender and the receiver. Accents and pronunciation can result in ambiguity. The rate of speech, pausing, silence, and intonation could give rise to different interpretations by the recipient. For example, advertising professionals are required to make choices not merely of the language to be used in an advertisement, but also need to write text or copy based on assumptions that they will make about the level of proficiency that the reader has in that language. Cultural differences. People from different cultures and geographies can and will interpret messages based on their frame of reference, which might result in aberration in the decoding process. Some words and their usage have varied connotations in different parts of the world. The use of these words could lead to widely divergent reactions in people. And finally, knowledge-related barriers. During the composition of a message, the sender will have made assumptions relating to the knowledge and skills of the receiver. In summary, an understanding of the barriers to communication enable the sender to craft messages in such a way that losses and distortion are minimized, resulting in more effective communication. I urge you to check out the additional reading and resources provided to get into more depth on this subject.